Shawn Eli playing against David Walsh, and we've got Norvik playing against. Oh, I'm gonna draw a blank because I don't have. There's the bracket. Okay, so Norvik's playing against Dean. So I'm not sure if one of the, I think there's a player in the top 8, Christopher, who I'm not sure if he was eliminated through the games or the fact that he had an early flight and never expected, I think, to do so well. Either way, I guess that's an important lesson for people that, hey, hope for the best, plan for the best. Sometimes good things happen. So I don't know the matchup on the Norvik versus Dean game precisely, but I heard some people saying that Norvik is going to have a strong matchup. So either way, we're going to try and talk to both finalists, and we'll get to pick some brains about this game that we're not watching. But on the left side of the bracket right now, we do have Shawn Eli playing against David Walsh. So we've got two-time WizKids Open champion Shawn Eli playing against U.S. national champion David Walsh. This is one of those star power games. David just had to rematch Kelly Davies, who he beat in the finals of nationals, and he lost to earlier today on stream. And their game was an incredibly close one. But now Shawn is getting ready for his shot at the national champ. Shawn was a really friendly guy at nationals for anybody who bumped into him, but he didn't have the best of luck and ended up missing the cut there. So he lost kind of an opportunity to shine a little bit brighter in that regard. Going to be really interesting to see these guys face off. They know each other pretty well. I wouldn't be surprised if they had practiced together quite a bit, especially because I think they're even rooming together here at Origins Game Fair. And of course, before we get too far to the end of this whole event, I want to thank all the people who help make Dice Masters great, whether they're the people I work alongside, WizKids, the game designers, Mike Elliott and Eric Lang, the different store owners who help us build great communities, the members of the community who help build the great communities, the players who come out and are the shining stars of the game and the superstars of tomorrow. Just always a great time with all the different WizKids fans, not just Dice Masters fans, even if you guys are a little bit extra special to me. So yeah, been a great time at WizKids World Championships so far with the HeroClix, the Attack Wing, and the Dice Masters players. So I think the lists are almost ready, and we're going to be good in just a moment to shoot over to the players. Okay, I've just been handed the team sheet for David Walsh, and I think we're going to switch over to the player cam now. Here, there. Okay, so the players have been given the thumbs up to begin. There are 3 matches left in Dice Masters World Championships. 3 matches. This one on the opposite side of the bracket, and the finals. So, a lot of interesting stuff going on here. The Doom Cal without the global to beat Spray. Shawn not bringing Spray. But the Doom Cal without the global can also kind of pose Millennium Puzzle. So it'll be when the opponent uses the inaction die, you must cancel the effect to knock out this monster. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see how David ends up using that to his advantage to try and stop the puzzle, because we've seen the strength of the puzzle. As unfortunate as Michael's loss was, Michael kind of has to admit, hey, the power of the puzzle is quite strong. As long as Shawn doesn't spend too many years unlocking it by perpetually re-rolling it to only get energy faces. Yeah, so I really like Shawn's layout. It matches my own compulsion of having characters that I'm going to purchase on one side and characters and for kind of globals on the other. Okay, players are going to high roll to see who goes first. And David gets a 1. Does Shawn follow him? Woohoo! So Shawn gets to go for. Oh, wait, they've got a 7. I can't tell what's going on. I can't. Yeah, I can't tell. I guess David's going first, or Shawn would have been rolling those dice. Yep, here he goes. Okay. So, a lot of shared respect here. These guys, you know, they're going back to the same hotel room at the end of this. Win, lose, or draw, which the last, of course, is not actually an option. Okay, so this is one of David's favorite openings, I believe. He's able to spend 3 for the polymorph and then ramp as much as possible. So during Shawn's turn, David's going to be using the Professor X Global to move those 2 energy into his prep area. More coffee delivery for David Walsh. We're gonna start thinking he's a bit of a diva at this point. Okay, so in a similar vein, we've got Shawn going for a red dragon play instead and dealing a point of damage to David in the process. So David's actually at 19. And David's thinking about what energy he's got and what he's going to do with it. Yeah, Red Dragon, Greater Dragon was a real shining star for Norvik. Okay. David makes his purchase there. Wolverine, formerly Weapon 10. Few surprises here. He's gonna go after it as soon as possible. Really, just how he rolls, as it were. I don't think Shawn can be too happy with this roll. He's gonna probably keep the bolt, maybe keep the shield. Yeah. Yeah, I think he's gonna re-roll the sidekick. Oh no, maybe he just goes for a quick Millennium Puzzle here. I still think I think he re-rolls the sidekick. Oh, he's gonna re-roll a lot of it, and okay, keeps some of the worst parts of what he had before, as it turned out. I think he feels the sidekick, and then he's going to Blue Eyes and Red Dragon, and no, you can't Blue Eyes Red Dragon and then pay a shield to buy a puzzle. So he's gonna have to work through this. That's why I wanted to reroll that sidekick, since there were a few different favorable die faces. So joining me on commentary now is going to be Nick Pham, guy who knows both of these players really, really well.
What's up?
Hey Nick, so I was just saying that you know these guys pretty well, and you're probably very excited to see them both make it so far through the event.
Dude, I'm stoked, especially Shawn.
Yeah, I feel like Shawn really didn't have a good time as far as luck at Nationals.
Yeah.
And he's come back to prove to people that, hey, you know, winning 2 of his kids' opens was no accident.
Yeah, he really knows what's up. I think part of it, though, is, you know, having Norvik by his side.
Oh,
he
yeah.
had Norvik by his side for both Portland and San Diego. And
oh, I didn't know that. They're local to each other?
Yep.
Okay.
They play with each other. Norvik's a great player. He was probably the first person at San Diego WKO to really figure out PXG completely.
Okay.
Everyone else was slow in the uptake by the end of the event.
Yeah,
there was maybe 3 people: Norvik, me, and one other person. And I think that the other 2 people learned from Norvik.
Yeah, I think that it kind of amazed me that so many people could look at that and not think it's that big a deal. Like, okay, I get.
It's not obvious.
I don't know. I think it's pretty. Like, oh, I like rolling lots of dice. That's what this whole game is about. This guy makes me roll extra dice, and I don't need to put him in play. Let's go. Well, I think the upper limit of it is what is probably surprising.
It was a big gear shift, learning that fielding sidekicks wasn't king anymore, and now it's the opposite. Everyone's so used to PXG that that fielding sidekicks is becoming really relevant again, and it's really hard for people to remember that because of how long PXG is dominated the scene.
The argument for like, oh yeah, fielding sidekicks isn't that good because it really limits your options, and I was pretty happy to reject that early on, and I've come around. I think part of it too is when you have low-cost mass characters that you're able to say, oh, I'm gonna have those characters now as energy sometimes and be able to ramp that much more consistently. But, I mean, that's not part of these teams, but I think it's a good thing for a lot of strategies.
Did Walsh reroll? If he's using blue eyes, he must have, right?
Yep, he's rolled.
So that's a little unfortunate, but he should be able to still have a Wolverine.
Yep. He's going to cruise for a lot of damage this turn.
Yeah. Apart from the convenience of lowering the cost of blue eyes, it's really important that he knocked out that other sidekick, because if he didn't, say, have a bolt to knock out that extra sidekick, Shawn could have taunted that sidekick, have it attack next to the Wolverine, and have Wolverine just deal a measly...
Taunted with what, though?
I'm confusing with Norvik's.
Yeah, Norvik's got the Mr. Fantastic.
Yes. And
I think Shawn might have had it the other day. He might have used Mr. Fantastic.
Shawn decided to go with the Goblin Attack Force. He likes having a little bit more power when he's on the play, I suppose.
Yeah. I don't know if I've seen him use Goblin Attack Force at any point. Have you seen him use it during the day?
Definitely.
Okay.
Because he sees a lot of Jinzo, and this is his replacement for...
It's his Jinzo killer?
That's his Jinzo killer.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of cool that your Wolverines can be half of the removal that way, I guess.
In a lot of ways, it feels like to me that Jinzo is Shawn's main strategy. Wolverine for Shawn is something that comes in when it seems the board is clear.
Okay.
David keeps his board pretty clear in general, so he won't really stop. I mean, he won't really stop Shawn from doing Weapon 10, but since David has the upper hand right now, Shawn has to try to stabilize.
It's true, and David was on the play, so he's got a big advantage going into this anyway.
Yeah. There's, like, the Weapon 10 team has been around for so long, and David really plays it better than most people. A lot of people just try it, they mess around with it, and it doesn't do well for them. It didn't do well for me. I have no idea what I'm doing wrong with it. I'm just not being aggressive enough, I feel like.
I was speaking to a player earlier in the day who had played against David, and they actually had an opportunity to use like Too Cool for Words to change their psychic dice into bolts and KO the Wolverine before the attack step, and instead they just passed priority and lost. And it's like, oh, okay. Like, whoops. And that's like, sometimes you get lucky in more ways than one, I guess.
Yeah, no.
But
I got dropped off the top 16 because some things that I didn't expect happened. And it wasn't rolls. It was just, that's there.
Yeah. Well, I was really surprised during the. Shawn stands up for the handshake. Yeah, let's.
Yeah, because
it makes sense to save the time and try and play two more games where Shawn can win.
David had lethal on board. He had 2 Wolverines, which is at least 10 damage.
Yeah.
And then 3 sidekicks, and Shawn had pretty much a clear board.
Well, Shawn also has the red dragon, so it's like, I can buy a die and deal less point of damage.
Exactly. So
okay.
David had lethal there, but now Shawn gets to go first.
Yeah. So, what do you think, Shawn? So Shawn's going to open with Zarina or Constantine?
I think he opens with Polymorph. That's usually
that makes
the play.
Sense. Yeah.
It gives you flexibility. You can go for the Wolverine if you miss the play. Oh, okay. So he goes for Serena. This makes sense because Serena, just one die opens a lot of pressure. She tends to deal easily 6 damage when you buy her that early. Not a lot of teams can match up to that.
It's true. And I mean, sure, he could have used the Red Dragon Global to like deal a point of damage, but it's really just not worth the tempo difference it's going to give you. kind of
I
cold.
haven't been coughing all day.
Yeah. It's kind of chilly in our area, and a lot of people have been having some congestion due to the chillness of the D hall here at Origins.
Oh yeah, it's been freezing.
Ooh,
And I forgot my jacket in my car, so it's been bad.
but you didn't drive here, did you?
No, on the way to the airport.
Okay.
One sec.
Yeah, you're.
Can I get like a waterfall of that? Is that cool?
Well, this is actually the last one.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
I'll be okay.
Yeah. Okay. So Nick is gonna will himself to feel better here.
Because I don't want to miss this game.
Yeah,
These are like my two favorite.
refuse to miss this game. If you're only gonna watch, 2 games of this whole event, I think this and the finals are the one you should be watching. Okay.
And also, because of the nature of the matchup, it's not a very long game.
Yeah.
You got
no,
5 minutes. You can catch this whole thing.
Yeah. This is.
Oh, wow. So he's going 2 Serenas. That's not a happy roll for Shawn.
No, it's not. But
Oh, okay. Wait, no. He's going Serena and Polly.
okay. So I think it's interesting that this is pretty similar to what we saw in Kelly's game against David, where Kelly won earlier today on stream. So
Yeah.
even if that's all Shawn knew, like, hey, repeat the success.
Well, this is a little bit risky because he's only going to ramp twice. That leaves 6 dice. So he won't be drawing 2 dice. And if two of those dice, one of those 2 dice is polymorph, he loses a lot of explosiveness on his turn 3, and that often sets the pace of the game.
I agree. Shawn was excited that he got his set of variant art cards. He's gonna, I think, show them. Oh, I thought he was gonna show them off to the camera again.
I'm jealous.
Yeah.
Matthew's off screen taking photos like a proud Asian father.
Yeah. Fantastic. Yeah. So out of the top 16 players, how many were with the Dysonon group? Do you know?
I think official Dysonon members 7,
Okay.
and then
It's pretty good.
people who are rooming with us and like hanging out with us all the time.
Yeah.
That's another 2 people, I believe.
Okay. That's good.
We really couldn't avoid each other.
No, you guys are just a large part of the population, I think. Is
Yeah.
everybody except Matt West Coast?
No, Matt's in Nevada. I think.
Oh, why did I think he was West Coast? Okay, whatever. Oh, no, sorry, East Coast.
Yeah. I think we have a couple East Coast, 3 maybe.
Okay. So yeah, look, there it is. The
Oh wow, that is the nightmare. He
but
has.
he can re-roll it, right? He
Oh,
can get his own weapon.
Okay. Yeah. So he has the sidekick. He has double fist. I think he's keeping the double fist because he doesn't think the 4 damage is worth it. He might want to go for the Jinzo here.
I don't know. I think you want to re-roll the double fist because if the polymorph play doesn't work, you want to have some pressure applied.
That's a good idea, but.
And you're still gonna have the 3
Yes.
to ramp with.
Yes, and even if he
What's he gonna do if he's
rolls
gonna
a
buy it?
Serena character, he'll be able to buy a Wolverine without breaking ramp, and that's
Yeah.
fine with him.
Yeah.
If the Serena doesn't stays double fist, then he can transition to Jinzo, and that's cool too. Yeah.
Okay.
He gets the poly.
Okay. That's cool too, though.
All right. Let's see what he goes with. Probably he can do the blue eyes into Jinzo if he still wants it, but I think he's feeling the Wolverine. It's hard to tell.
It wouldn't even make sense to try and blue eyes into Wolverine because it's going to get you additional ramp. It might not matter here. I'm not.
He
I'm
won't have a way to spend the rest of the energy. Is the thing.
Okay.
So might as well keep the extra sidekick out.
Keep psychics for the future.
Force Walsh to do something about it if he wants to swing his own Wolverine through.
Yeah. Pay that one for the relentless or whatever other solution you might have.
Yeah. You're typically pretty tight on energy with this Wolverine build.
Yeah.
You break ramp really often, but you put so much pressure that your opponent has to start spending energy really, really in a terrible way to keep themselves from dying.
For sure. So, I mean,
he's wondering if he wants to take the burn.
Yeah, and the answer is yes, you do. Like you're on
with
the
Red Dragon on the field, you do.
yeah.
if there isn't something like Red Dragon, that damage is super important since Wolverines often get polyed, and that 2 last health will decide the game.
So I think shouldn't David be at 19 because Shawn used the no, he's at 10 because of Wolverine. Okay, yeah. Shawn was saying like, oh, you're at 19 before the Wolverine because of Red Dragon.
That's the really nice thing about Red Dragon is Wolverine always had that problem dealing that last 2 damage, and I've seen a lot of Wolverine teams lose on that last 2 health. They get 2 attacks through and then stabilized. Done.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. And I mean, I think there's going to be an increased amount of life gain with some of the upcoming promos and Age of Ultron. So Red Dragon is going to be even more important for Wolverine.
Technically, shouldn't David be at 9 then? One generic energy burn, 1 Red Dragon burn, and 9 damage from Wolverine.
He should in fact be at 9.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pop over and make sure the players realize, because I think they might be keeping track of it correctly in the dice, but I can't see well.
And I'll take off my headset so you can visually confirm I'm not up to shenanigans.
Okay, so players confirmed that Shawn actually did not use Red Dragon to buy the polymorph he blue-eyes.
Oh.
Yeah, I had
See,
not
we're
realized
too
that.
distracted talking about other stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
Clear field looks like a happy
How
Wolverine.
inviting. Here comes weapon 10.
Looks like a level 2 Wolverine. Walsh still needs to consider how he can keep himself from dying next turn.
And maybe he can't, so he just makes the most aggressive play possible and hopes Shawn gets a bad roll.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, if Shawn misses the Wolverine roll, he won't be able to buy a new Wolverine and poly for lethal unless he has enough 2 extra energy to do another Red Dragon. Again, that awkward 9 damage is just short of being 2 hits.
It's true. It's true.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
and the fact you can't make the extra damage come from attackers.
So David takes the safe play, polys in the Lord of D, which is a completely impervious thing to Wolverine, pretty much.
Yeah, that's very true.
They just keep running into each other. Although Wolverine will trade for the Lord of D for free, and the Lord of D will have a fielding cost, so David has to make good use of his time.
Yeah, but Lord of D is not going to... Level 1 Lord of D is not going to be a big help against a incoming Zarina.
No, it will not, and Shawn already has 2 bot.
Yep.
With a lot of foresight there.
Yeah, two bot, and then the Wolverine coming up as double fist could also generate, a newly purchased Zarina.
This is very easily 6 damage.
But that's also just a huge number of shields. Wow.
Yep. To be honest, this is gonna be at least 4 damage from Black Widow activation most of the time to begin with. So Shawn might decide to use numbers as his Lord of D replacement. Just have too many characters to be relentless.
Yeah.
Which doesn't work too well because obviously if it's the last strike you can spend everything.
Yeah. So I mean, I wonder what Shawn's thinking about here. I think you keep the bolt because it's going to become a Red Dragon damage, and just reroll everything else because you want masks, you want wilds.
Typically, every single die available that is a possible mask.
Yeah.
So you chase after that. A bolt, you just kind of trust that it'll come.
You'll show up another
with
one.
With 6 dice, you'll just trust one of them since you only need 1.
They're getting a judge for something. I don't know what's.
Judge coming over. Let's try to guess just from visually what they're asking the judge. Maybe he tipped a die.
Oh no, Dave. I think. Oh, he has to run to the restroom.
Stopping the clock.
It probably would have been faster to just run and not find a judge, but good spirit.
In these long events, hydration and the release of said hydration is a huge issue.
Oh yeah, like you get that. It's not like you can feel during the day. You wake up with that dry in your dry feeling in your sinuses the next morning. Like, oh, why was I not thinking about this?
Exactly, and trying to take some coffee to help with the tiredness from staying up, crafting your team.
Makes it even worse.
Exactly.
If anybody is wondering, you should just tell them that David got a little scared of Shawn and decided to take a run, but people are going to bring him back. So what are your thoughts on Millennium Puzzle pre-nationals versus post-nationals? That shift.
Well, even before nationals, we kind of knew that Millennium Puzzle was one of the best counters for Jinzo. Even more so now that we know that the Jinzo deals damage when you play the Millennium Puzzle rather than when you use it.
Yeah.
So once we saw more Jinzo, which is now, the Millennium Puzzle became that much more valuable.
What are your thoughts on Millennium Puzzle not being Max 1? Too good?
Honestly, yes.
Woohoo!
Because with Thousand Drag, it's actually, we were talking about it before, Millennium Puzzle is actually the most perfectly priced strong removal spell. Because it's with Thousand Dragon, if you decide to invest in that Thousand Dragon, you can get it down to 3, but you're investing another card to do that, and if 2 cards combo should be somewhat powerful like that.
Yeah.
But in the end, if you're spending 3 for multiple dice that are constantly removing a 6 cost every time they hit the field, that's too much.
Yeah. I think Thousand Dragon is just one of those cards that's like super interesting, and it's just gonna have its day in the sun at some point. There will be a deck that wants to use a bunch of actions, and you can like 2 cool for words, Thousand Dragon, go nuts.
People like the red dragon just for that 1 damage is extremely relevant.
Yeah.
But sometimes you gotta identify if maybe I don't want direct damage to be in the game.
Yeah.
Some teams just don't want that, and they want to be able to use it twice, like if they're using Millennium Puzzle.
Right, but it's also kind of cool, like as a valve for you, that you can say, hey, I don't want to let my opponent have access to the multiple effects. Like I'm limited by a few actions, and so one here and there is plenty.
Yeah.
Okay, so Shawn.
David just yelled at the camera.
Okay.
I have no idea what he yelled. You think he's attacking with the Serenas? I feel like yes.
So yeah.
Put some pressure on. He probably would get killed by a Wolverine if he had 1 die or 3 dice.
Yeah. That's fair.
But if he gets David down to 4 and ramps his Serenas back around, then he actually just wins on the missed roll.
Yeah, and then get another Zarina die. Yep.
Okay.
I think he could have red dragoned for another polymorph instead of the Constantine. I don't know if I like it for having the die or if I like it for having the damage, because that 1 plus another 1 on the next turn around.
It would have been really nice if he could have drawn this polymorph and put a Constantine on the field.
Yeah.
Possibly buy him another turn. But this could be it. He needs 1 more mask. This is going to be really tough for for Shawn. Might just be a quick 2-0.
I mean, David could get all shields here.
This turn 2 Wolverine is not something that David did a lot during Nationals, so he's definitely adapting his style more around the idea that he might not have ramp anymore.
Yeah.
I've seen him do some very cool things against Spray, where he would buy the Wolverine on turn 1, and then that would give him. Oh wow! Congratulations, David.
Yeah, congrats, David. Shawn, not able to get the dice kind of at the right time there.
You probably want to bring him over here.
Yeah, let's
Sound good.
let's get Shawn over here. Thanks for joining us, Nick, and
No problem.
we'll see what the finals are like.
Yeah, I'm excited. It's just been
gonna
great
be so
games,
great.
start to finish. I feel so sorry for everyone who's not here and watching from home because you guys missed some of the most epic games I've ever seen.
Weren't you not planning on coming up until recently? I thought that's
really
what I had
wasn't.
heard. So what kind of changed your mind?
I don't know.
Okay.
I felt like I should be. There's so many people going.
That is the correct reaction. You should be here, and it's a darn good thing that you are.
I'm involved enough in the community.
Yeah, exactly. Like you've done some stuff for our website. You do stuff for some of the other
I'm gonna
websites.
walk over there, tell him I'm gonna clean up his dice for him.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks. Yeah. So. Yeah, I'm gonna. So. Okay, so. Okay, Dice Masters fans, here I am with David Walsh. So congratulations. So
thanks so much.
You could be the world and national champion at the same time.
That would be awesome, but let's not get ahead of ourselves.
No, that's right. You're even just by making the finals, you set such a high bar. I think for other players to come along and say, "Oh, I'm the best person at Dice Masters." They have to now. You are definitely the person they have to pass by. And so, how does that feel? I think it's pretty cool, right?
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, I think my hours and hours and hours of
it pays off.
Yeah, staring at cards, playing the game, playing rounds against myself on Vassal and stuff like that. It pays off because when I get in those decision moments, I know what to do. I've been there, and so that's where I've seen, not Shawn, but other games previously where people have faltered, where they don't know what to do in that situation. So obviously, we talked earlier about my Weapon 10 kit, setting it up. I knew eventually I'd see another Weapon 10. Lord of D was there for just that reason.
Yeah.
I actually had an offensive and a defensive turn in the same turn in game 2, which was the swing. So that was it was really big, and super lots of respect to Shawn. I mean, he had had me shaking there. It's pretty crazy, but
definitely a really crazy game. I think a slightly different role here or there, and it could have gone to game 3.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep. I got pretty lucky on that last roll, honestly.
So do you have some idea what the other two teams are like that you could be facing in the finals?
Genuinely no idea.
Okay. Yeah. So I don't remember exactly either. I was going to ask if you're more concerned about one team or the other. So you put in lots of hours playing this game.
Oh yeah.
And that's what's gotten you where you are. Do you think that you've encountered any particular players that you're just like, oh, they don't put in the time, but they're especially gifted, and that's why they're so successful?
There are some crazy good players. Norvik, who I guess they're still playing.
Yeah.
He's ridiculously good. He's like if you want to say, he's basically like a prodigy. He doesn't. I think he's even not been playing the game for a really long time.
No, he was at the. Nick was saying he was at the WKOs with Shawn.
Yeah, and that was like the last time he played.
Oh boy!
Yeah, I'm telling
okay.
you, he's like a prodigy. He just shows up. I'm actually staying. The hotel I'm in is with Shawn and Norvik.
Okay.
Yeah, and so we've been talking about stuff the whole time. We're going to teams together and all that. And it was instantly really impressive to me how he just caught right back up to the meta after coming back in and just asked a few questions.
That's really
and then
cool.
Because
I'm sure he knew exactly what questions to ask too.
Yep.
Yeah.
So he's I'd say he's the prodigy. I'm the hard worker. And
it's funny because he's not as ingrained in, I guess, the fan sites and stuff, and he didn't have like a big win. So like he was a name that kind of flew under my radar. I'm sure the same is true for a lot of the people watching at home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's back and he's real.
He's back and he's real.
The guy's a force.
His game is still going. And then I don't really know anything about Dean either, who's playing against him right now. But I mean, Dean's obviously quite a competent player that he's made it so far and so deep into the cut. So going to be really interesting to see what happens. Thanks for talking with us, David.
No joke. Yeah, thanks a lot, man. Yeah.
Take care.
Thanks. Bye, buddy.